Top story, debit orders other than funeral deductions may continue against bank accounts of SASSA beneficiaries. This after North Gauteng High Court handed down judgment in favor of Net1. In June 2016, Net1 and affiliate companies launched the application in Pretoria High Court seeking to allow deductions from social grants. This came a month after the Department of Social Development published regulations to close loopholes which financial service providers were using to skim money off grant beneficiaries. SASSA, the Department of Social Development, and Black Sash argue that the regulations were necessary to ensure beneficiaries were not exploited. Net1 subsidiary Cash Paymaster Services distributes social welfare grants on behalf of the Social Security Agency.
The judge essentially made a number of orders. The first was he found in favour of the applicants that the interpretation, that DSD's interpretation of the new regulations are not the correct interpretation. He found against the respondents on costs, and then he dismissed the amici and the intervener's application to intervene. The regulations as they stand kind of read in the way that Net1 and the other companies that brought this application interpreted them, that deductions may actually be made from social grants. Whereas the Minister's interpretation of that was that deductions cannot be made from social grants because this actually reduces the effectiveness of social grants because it obviously reduces the amount.
We are still dumbfounded as to the judge's interpretation of the law and his judgment. As you said, we didn't get a chance to read the judgment because it was done and dusted in 2 minutes, and we unfortunately didn't even get a hard copy of the judgment to look through it ourselves to see what his reasoning was behind the decisions he had taken. For us, it's also a deafening blow, specifically in light of the Constitutional Court victory we had on the 17th of March, because he actually kicked out our application to be an intervening party in this matter. So it means he didn't even give airtime to our relief that we sought, and contradicts totally the spirit of what we are fighting for as the Black Sash, which is to protect the interests of beneficiaries and to ensure that beneficiaries get access to their grants in full and have no unscrupulous entities having access to it.
Gauteng High Court, where the judgment was just handed down in the 4 cases between Net1, Applied Technologies Pty Ltd versus SASSA and the Department of Social Development. In what was an unfamiliar move in court this morning, we saw Judge van der Westhuizen arrive. Within 2 minutes, he handed out the judgment and dashed out of the courtroom. We're still a bit confused as to what the judgment was said. Even representatives have not had a chance to read the judgment.